Hey y'all, it's Nana with LivingCooper. I have a Nana So Crafty t-shirt blanket stash buster. There's a t-shirt square blanket stash buster making marathon. You've been seeing snippets for the last week or two of my t-shirt blankets for our vacation Bible school crew that's arriving. I made 6 blankets. All total, if you put it all together, I probably got it done in 6 days. The biggest delay was waiting because I had so many blanks, waiting for some patches to arrive from everywhere under the sun. They're all not here yet. When the kids get here, I might let them go through them and have me add some more if they want some. Anyway, these are shirts from me and Pops and our daughter for our great nieces and our grandkids. So I picked out fleece on the back for whichever kid, whatever their preference is. That's why the fleece doesn't really match the motive, whatever it is. Anyway, got 6 going, 4 girls, 2 boys. I tried to do the miter edge blanket on the boys like I did probably 4 years or so on a baby blanket. It does work if your margins are not equal, but it doesn't look as good. And then I cut it wrong and sewed it wrong on the oldest brother, so he had to get binding. But all the girls were just the whole sew front to back after I put some borders, sashing, whatever people call it, on. Anyway, it's not perfect. It's hugs from me and Pops and aunt or cousin Maddie. It's all that matters. I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert quilter. So you probably noticed on the little thing in the corner of the video, the thumbnail, that this is a very long video. Feel free to speed it up if you need to, but please at least let it play in the background. We're a small channel. We appreciate the time and the length of watching. Leave me some comments, things you'd like us to try, simple things you'd like me to try. I don't sew difficult things. You can speed it along. I did the boys in the beginning of the video and the patches were at the very end of the video. If that helps you a lot, helps you at all on what you're looking for in here. But they were all sewn the same. I just sewed the squares together in rows and columns and attached it the old-fashioned way. It is not a how-to. It's just I needed to get it done. Making a little memory for our little munchkins we love so much when they get here for Vacation Bible School. Y'all follow along. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all. I pulled all my t-shirt blanket stuff out of the shed last week, as well as my more than 25-year-old embroidery machine and all the threads that I've had since that long. All of the things, I brought them all out, picked up 6 pieces of fleece last week when I did my airport run, and I organized all the shirts, what shirts are gonna go with which fleece, with which kid, and I did my practice embroidery this morning. I think I got it all figured out, so real quick I'm gonna start embroidering the squares, and then after I get them all embroidered I'll start putting each blanket together. But y'all come with me while I make 6 t-shirt fleece back blankets. These are gonna be hugs from Pops and I, or Uncle Larry and Juju, depending on which kid gets what blanket. These are all of our t-shirts and some of our daughter's t-shirts. So she's cousin to the nieces and aunt to the grandkids. You know how all that family math works. Anyway, I have high hopes. 6 blankets, 2.5 days. But all the hard work's done, right? I just need to put them together and not mess up, not have to rip stitches. So y'all, let's get to work. Quit talking. All right, y'all, blanket number 1, embroidery finished. This is the final layout. I'm gonna take a couple seconds real quick and pin my rows together so that whenever I've got them all, I'm gonna do chain station, piecing, quilting, blah, 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 whatever you wanna call it. Pins, here we go. All right, y'all. Somehow I didn't take a picture of this setup, so I don't remember how I had it. Plus, you saw I had 2 shirts I had to cut, but I have too many maroon shirts for this blanket. But either way, I thought I'd do the embroidery on the white, but the white's super thin. It's more likely to be distorted. So I'm gonna do the Vermont, the embroidery on the Vermont. Since it's gonna be here, it'll have the black, it'll kind of bring it out a little bit. And then I can reconfigure and figure out what goes what where with this one later. Right now, embroidery. All right, y'all. y'all, I realized why the previous blanket was too many maroon, because one of those is supposed to go to this blanket and one of these is supposed to go to that blanket. Regardless of how that way shakes out, this is going to be my embroidered square because it's maroon. Ugh. No, 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 no. All right, this isn't gonna work. I gotta lay all these out and figure this. I'm gonna do this one next. These two, when I get my big tables out, I will figure these two out again. Something ain't working. I gotta keep moving. So these two are my troubles. Trouble. Avocado is trouble and puppies is trouble. Let's move on to this blanket. Hopefully I'm out of trouble. Let me get my photo. So that's the layout on this one. I think it'd be cool to put the heart in the middle of that, but I need to fill in some of these other blanks. So this one needs another maroon too. What is going on here? Why am I short maroon shirt? I guess it doesn't need it. It just feels like it should have it. What is happening, people? All my squares are messed up. So that says A&M, so that's why that one was getting by with that. All right, so this is what we're going with. That said, this is our embroidered square. All right, let me take my picture. All right, y'all, I don't know when the battery died. I got blanket number 3 square loaded, ready to embroider. But, oh, I see, I got two boys, one girl. Yeah, so that's blanket number 3. Blanket number 2 and blanket number 3, when I laid them out, I was like, uh-oh, something's not right here. So now, 2 girl blankets, a boy and a girl blanket, and a girl blanket. Got all the tables out. These are blanket number 1 over there is a boy blanket with the puppies. Blanket number 2. I thought those were the only problems, but then I remembered the boy blankets had more designs and no blanks. It was the girls that had blanks. So I laid them all out. This girl's fine. That one maybe not. So I'm just now laying these 2 out. So I want to put you back on time lapse while I lay all these out and see what I did, because none of them are matching the photo that I took. Embroidered squares I have finished. The only one I had to pick a little is the very last one, because I hit a pin. Never hit a pin. It made everything crazy. Got it worked out. Battery died. It's hot. I'm getting ready to go mow. 3.5 of the 6 are pinned, ready to sew. I have 1.5 here left to sew and 1 more over here to sew. I'm gonna try to go get an hour's worth of mowing in this evening before bedtime, because I gotta get all these sewn. I can't mow tomorrow. I gotta sew tomorrow. Anyway, keep watching. Hey, morning y'all. It is Tuesday, the sun is out, the temperature's going up, the humidity's probably gonna go down. Well, maybe it goes up first, then goes down, because we still have all this moisture in the ground. Good news is, Pops was in the Midwest last night, and he wasn't affected by yesterday's weather. He did have some weather, but he wasn't affected. We weren't affected. I left you last night having most of the blanket top t-shirt squares pinned and sorted and organized. I did not show me sorting and condensing and cleaning up the embroidery. I put it all back up in the shed. I was able to condense from 2 boxes to 1 box. So that's always good. Use what I have. And then I did the same with the t-shirts. So we used to have 3 of the small boxes, 1 for me, 1 for Pops, 1 for our daughter, of t-shirts, because I just sorted out 6 blankets. I was able to condense them all down to 1. I still do have the big tote that has all the blanks in it and all the oversized shirts and some Kansas scraps. I've made a couple blankets for my Kansas little sister and her baby and her husband. Keeping those because there may be another baby. She's young. Anyway, that's all cleaned up. That's all organized. And then I pulled out these little scraps. These are like sleeves and emblems that aren't the whole shirt. And since the girls have so many blanks, I'll probably pick a few of these to put on the girls, and I just applique them on. I might snag a few for the boys, just because of the sentimental reason of that scrap. But that I decide after I do the whole quilt top. So that's where we're going. I'm about to set up the sewing machine. It is like 9:30. I would like to get all 6 tops pieced together today, or sewn together, not pieced, but sewn together. But I don't know if I can sit that long. So I want to see what I can get done. Anyway, enough of this. Let's get back to work. All right, y'all, 1 done. 5 more to go. All right, there you go. 2 down, 4 to go. That's the bookends. That's the oldest, that's the youngest. Happen to both be boys. So they have 2 sisters in the middle and then the 2 cousins. This is the only blanket with the big squares. You can see it's a little bit different. The size is overall gonna be the same by the time I get all the fleece on it. The other 4 are just like this one, just with lots of pink. Let's keep going, we're making progress. All right, y'all, 3 down, 3 to go. Unfortunately, these 3, not pinned, not pinned. Oh wait, there's 1 already pinned. Back to work. Okay, y'all, somewhere along the way of blanket number 5, battery died. Pop's just got some new ones, so hopefully that'll help around here. All right, 5 tops down. Avocado, bunnies, unicorn was the first girl one. Volleyball is next, and I haven't pinned it at all, so I'm gonna go over there, relocate over there to do some pinning. Labeled for their back, 3 here, 3 up on the shop door. It's not even 2 o'clock, I don't think. Start after 10. I think I'm doing pretty good. I am going to do the boys' backing first because I set out all the little scraps and emblems and stuff that I think I'm gonna put on the girls. But if I do the 2 boys ones today and tomorrow, this evening and tomorrow morning, I could be done with the boys and call 1/3 of it done. So I'm gonna get up from sewing. I'm gonna go into town, check the mail. I'm gonna take a break. Y'all, behind me, 6, I can do math, 6 stash busting t-shirt quilt memory blankets for our sweet little grandkids and grandnieces. I'm excited to be getting those done. I appreciate the opportunity that I've had to be home by myself, just me and the dog for a few days to get these done. They were gonna be Christmas presents, but now they're gonna be Vacation Bible School. It's gonna be crazy week, extra blankets for the kids. So here we are, 6. Yay, Stash Buster. gonna do the self-binding, self-mitered binding, whatever it's called. I did it a long time ago in a baby blanket. I haven't tried it again since that one blanket. So I'm trying to do it with my fleece blanket and my t-shirt blankets. I realize it's gonna make it a lot smaller, and this is gonna be for an almost 12-year-old boy, but it's meant for like a car blanket or just a quick throw. It's not made for a big, huge bed. And it's, you know, just to be a hug from me and his pops and his Aunt Maddie. So I'm gonna stop here because it seems to me you pin from the center and you sew, and you leave this part, this little 1/4 inch I marked, and then you unpin it, and then you sew the other way, and then you fix your dog ears, your mitered corner. I can't remember. I'm not gonna keep going because I don't want to rip stitches. So I'm gonna stop here. I have all day tomorrow. If this works, that's how all of them are gonna be attaching, and I'll address quilting also as I go, because you know, that's how I do it around here. No frill, no fuss. And I know you're probably gasping because you've noticed some of these holes in the different shirts. These are literally, this Larry Boy shirt was Pops' shirt for at least the last 32 years is safe to say, 32 years. Everybody knows him for that shirt. His other Larry Boy shirt is on a quilt, t-shirt quilt I made him about 10 years ago. This one finally went into retirement from the work shirt pile. What I'll do is I will use this as part of my quilting, and I'll just tack it. And so what, if you see fleece through it, it won't bother this young man, and it's not like it's gonna fray or get worse. So I'm stopping here, get some supper, get rested. We'll be back tomorrow. Haha, kid, just kidding. I had some supper, found the instructions, so I was right and I was wrong. I need to sew on each side from the center to my 1/4 inch marking spot that I made here. I need to do that all the way around, except right here, that's where I'm gonna flip it. So I'm gonna get this blanket done, unless I have to rip stitches and then I'm really done for the night. I'm not gonna try to salvage it at that point. So I brought the machine over here so I don't have to keep going back and forth and back and forth. All right, y'all, I really am through for the night. Although mitered corners look really, really good, it is not laying flat. I don't know what happened. I don't know how to fix it. It just wants to be a box, like a mattress cover. I don't know where I went wrong. The only thing I can guess is that my overage on the sides, these two sides matched, and those two sides matched, but it wasn't all 3 inches all the way around, 1 inch all the way around. They were not exactly the same, which means I cut it. Normally I don't cut it till I'm 100% sure, but I looked at it, it looked fine. I'm gonna quit. I'm legitimately done because I'm gonna be ripping stitches, a lot of stitches, like all the way around, and plus the miter corner. I might just start with the miter corner, this part, tomorrow, and see if I can just lay it flat and sew it that way. I don't know. Things were going so well, y'all. That's it. I'm really done tonight. Brr. All right, I'm gonna take my toys and go to bed. Brr. Brr. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I left off last night trying to figure out what went wrong with my miters. I did find a video on YouTube last night explaining what to do. I made boxes. When I cut it and pinned it, or when I cut the inside, the little dog ears, cut them in the wrong direction, which makes boxes instead of miters. So, because it was all lumpy, I obviously did not get my perfect squares when I cut it. But she said that to know if you cut it right or wrong is if you have a square versus a triangle. If you cut it and you end up with a square scrap, you get a box. If it's a triangle, you have miter corners. She did give recommendations on how to fix it. I'm not gonna fix it. My goal this week, I have today left to sew. My goal is to get as many tops and backs together as I can. So I'm gonna put this blanket back away because the fix is you rip this stitch and rip this stitch at about 5 or so inches, whatever's most comfortable, and then get new pieces or sew these pieces back in, but they're not gonna be big enough. I'm not gonna do that. This is going back on the shop wall, I'll bring the next blanket in. All right, this is Mr. Puppy Dog back, but I need to put his little appliques on before I get there. So, let me get that started. Moment of truth. I only did 2 sides because 1, I didn't want to fight with all the pins, and 2, I'm not 100% sure this miter corner situation is going to work because I don't have exactly the same amount of border all the way around. So in order to minimize my stitch ripping, I just did 1 corner for now. So let's see if I'm going to be able to make this work. I'm supposed to line this edge up. My 2 sides that are sewn. So you're supposed to line up the 2 edges that are sewn like this. Make sure my lines meet up in there. That is right where we stop. And obviously, I'm not gonna have a beautiful little triangle on this side because I'm doing it wrong already. Make sure I don't cut squares off. I cut triangles. You're supposed to have the folded side at your belly. All right, you're supposed to draw your line from your tummy to there, lined up on this fold to there. Cut a line here, draw a line here. That's where I'm supposed to sew. To mimic a sewn line, I'm just gonna pin it. Since I didn't sew the whole thing, it'll be easier to look. It'll either make a box or it won't make a box. The question is that a box or not a box? All right, I'm just gonna have to sew it and then we'll look at it. Don't want to sew it just to unsew it, but I don't think it's gonna work any other way. Let me watch that video first. Make sure I did it the right way. Hold on. Well, I watched this late last night and I know I saved it and now I can't find it. So I'm gonna risk it, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and sew on my line. And I'm going to increase my stitches to ginormous. That way if it's wrong, it'll be easier to rip out, right? Right? Maybe this is why I haven't seen anybody do these self-mitering corner Okay, y'all. Camera overheated, so I went ahead and I stitched up the rest of the outside of the blanket. Our miter did work, which you can tell on the outside when you cut it because it's laying down. Let me go get the other one. You can see the difference. Hold on. So here was yesterday's oopsie, and you can tell it wants to stand up. It made a box. This one doesn't want to stand up. It wants to lay down. So you can tell that you did it right, even from the outside, because it doesn't want to stand up. So all my sides are sewn. This is my opening for flipping. It's time to do the part that makes me the most nervous and snip it. So keep the fold at your belly so you don't make a box, so you make a miter. Line up our little lines we made. Put a pin there. It's our 1/4 inch from the smaller piece of fabric, in this case the quilt, the t-shirt quilt. And nobody says you have to do this part, but it makes me feel better. All right, so the pin represents, I'm just holding with the pin. Right here is my 1/4 inch line on the 1/4 inch of each corner, and they're perfectly lined up. Fold to my belly, and then line the flat of my ruler up to the fold. Right here is my spot that we lined up our 1/4" spot, which is also where we quit sewing. That's gonna be my sew line. I have a bunch of them here though, so it ain't right. Might not be right, hold on. I realized I have a bubble. All right, so if I sew it right there, it's gonna give me a mitered corner. Go ahead and pin it. Pin it for transport. Just because I'm nervous, I'm not going all the way around. I'm doing one corner at a time and checking it. Keep the fabric flat. I have my stitch length at 4.5, which I wish I would have done on the other blanket yesterday because there's a lot of stitches I'm gonna have to rip, and I had it at 2. What was I thinking? All right, find my opening, silver pin. The moment of truth, y'all. Uh-oh, looks like it wants to be a box. And I'm scared. I'm gonna go ahead and birth. They call this birthing. Isn't that weird? I would have never called it that, but I saw a professional call it birthing. All right, so these are our 2 corners that are completed. Uh-oh, this one seems wrong. That one's laying flat. This one wants to be a box. So I must have done this side wrong. See the difference? Supposed to be this way, not supposed to be that way. So that corner proves that this process will work even if your borders are not the same. But I did this one wrong somehow, because that's a box, not a flat miter. This might not be the project. I might just have to not self-binding miter corner, whatever. I have to do something else. I don't have time to do this for 6 blankets times 4 corners. So this is the problem child here. This one's fine. Nope, not that corner. One of 6, 100% complete. Do I love it? Would I enter it in a county fair? Absolutely not. But the little redhead that requested the puppy dog fabric is gonna love it. Other than buying fabric, this was 100% free because these are old shirts we wore for years and years and years. Stash busting. I did the miter corners. I do like it. I think I'll fix the video game boy one, but I'm not gonna do the girls in this manner. So I think it's just gonna be way too busy for the girls because they have pink and purple and orange and green and lots of colors in their quilt. So I don't know how I'm gonna do the girls, but I know there's no way I'm gonna get even a second one complete today. So I'm gonna get started on the other one that goes with the unicorn. Maybe that's all I'll do today. I'm gonna pull it down and I'm gonna do the little embroidery thing. And I rough cut these edges because it's really cute when it's been washed and it starts curling up. I think maybe today all I'm gonna do is do the appliques on the other 4, clean up. It's Wednesday, it's hair wash day, gotta get ready for church. I mean, about what time it is. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock. So by the time I at least applique the other one and clean up, I'm not gonna have time to quilt anything. But we will overcome. There's still 4 weeks from today, VBS starts. So June 9th, today's May 9th. If I can do 1 a day, 1 a week, I'll be finished. We'll see what I do for the girls. Anyway, I'll be back. All right, y'all. It's gonna be Unicorn Girl here. I took off 2 of the emblems. I just don't think I'm gonna use them. Gotta use them, but then I'm like, that'd be so weird. How would I sew that on? So that's a no. This one's still a maybe, or maybe for a different project. These are definitely no's. A lot of these I don't know. So that got me to thinking is maybe I can use some of these for the video game corners. So let's get those over here. This was yesterday's miter blanket that messed up the miter corners. And the internet said, okay, take the little pieces you cut off and replace them with something that's your seam allowance all the way around. So I did 1/4 inch seam allowance, so that's 1/2 inch in each direction, which would be 1 inch overall. So I thought, well, maybe I have something in here that I could use for the miter corner cutoff. That won't work because it's got to be bigger all the way around. Nope. So that's a no. This is girly, that's a no. I'm not sure that cutoff piece, pretty sure it's gonna have the seam in it like this. I don't even know if I want a solid decoration. But these might be cool. These old sleeves might work. I think what I'm gonna do is tomorrow when I go pick up Pops at the airport, I'll go back by Joann's and I'll buy another 1/4 yard or whatever the smallest is of this, on the off chance this doesn't work. I do 2 out of that. That goes with the video games. It's kind of cool looking. I'm gonna have these sleeves from a shirt that's on Little Brother's quilt. So I do the bigger ones on the same fabric because I'm just not sure everything's gonna line up. So this one can go with that. I think I'm just gonna kind of like a paper piecing. I'm just gonna sew it into the hole. Uh-oh, where'd my other sleeve go? Not do any good to throw it away, does it? That doesn't look terrible. I think I'll start with this one, and if I really like it, maybe I'll do all 4 corners out of this. If not, I'll do that one. All right, that takes me back to this. I am over sewing right now. I've reached my maximum, which means I'm just gonna keep making more and more and more and more mistakes. And I need to get this project done. I have 4 blankets to completely attach, and then the 1 to repair and to quilt. So let me show you what my dilemma is, I think. I don't want to miter corner the girls. I think it's just going to be too much. The boys were far more muted than the girls. But I hate to give up the space of the overage. It's too exact for me to decide how to do this. So maybe do my best to center this up and just fold these in. Maybe put a hem all the way around here. Fold that in like that. Do that. Which is still going to be the same issue of that's a whole lot with all of that. Now this one matches pretty good because I did the blues, or just stop by when I get Brothers fleece and get some fleece to do a black border or a blue border and just do strip frame all the way around it. I really don't want to buy more. Anyway, I started this to say I laid this out because I pulled the 2 pieces of appliques off of this one. I didn't like them. I might see, I'm gonna go online, take a break from sewing, go online and see if I can find some patches or something for each of the girls, because there's some on the other girls that I just don't like, but I don't want to leave blanks, but I might, but I don't want to. Anyway, I'm over this right now. I'm hurting. I've sat too long for 2 days. I'm gonna go get a pack of ice and do some computer searching in bed. Lay down. So I gotta clean all this up still because Pops comes home tomorrow. I gotta wash my hair for church tonight, which takes an hour and a half or so. Yeah, I'm done today. See y'all later. Okay, y'all, back on the boy number 1 blanket that I cut the miters wrong, and I'm not gonna really go into great detail or show you what I'm doing, but these are the pieces that I cut off. I've got all 4 pieces that I had cut off. I've already ripped the corner stitches out here, and I found some extra fabric. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pieces of fabric and I'm going to sew them in the place where these were, and then each of the corners is just going to have blue fabric instead of the video game fleece. If that does not look right or work, then I'm going to take it out again and just put black fleece in the corners. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine, right? It's gonna all be fine, one way or another. It'll all be fine. The 12-year-old doesn't mind. The adults are the ones that are gonna tear it apart and say, ew, that's what she did. But you know what? It's all about the love and the thought that counts, right? Be grateful. Anyway, I gotta get this done. It is Monday afternoon. This is probably all I'm gonna do today. I've already sewn and dropped my board. Pops is on the road. Yeah, I hope to get this blanket at least sewn. I did find, I didn't know I had it, but I had 2 walking feet. So I also need to watch some videos. Maybe my quilting will look better if I use a walking foot. I'm hoping they're universal because I know this one was bought when the 12-year-old was born by his other grandma because they did some sewing with my machine I had 12 years ago. They look identical, this one and the one that's still in a package in my sewing box. So I'm assuming they're universal. And I'm gonna do some practicing with this before I flip the boy blanket out, right side out, and quilt it. So that maybe if I'm feeling good tonight, if this part goes right, I'll get that started, but probably not till tomorrow. So goal tomorrow is to complete boy's blanket 100% and cut the black, what is that called? Frame border for the girl blankets. I ordered a whole bunch of patches from like 6 different places and picked some up in store over the weekend and this morning. So I'm gonna put some patches on the girls' blanks. We'll see. Those won't all be here until late tomorrow. We'll see. We gotta get it done. Red fabric. I didn't like how that looked. It was too clumsy. So then you saw me make all my replacement corners. I did it with the piece I cut out, and that worked actually. And then you saw me cut 5 times instead of 4. So, oops, I cut what I just sewed off. So now I got a hole there, and I'm not gonna be able to save it. But I don't like how it looks with the replacement part. So I'm going to stop trying to fix it and start over. I'm gonna take the evening and I'm gonna take the top off the fleece, and I will decide tomorrow if I just wanna do front to back or if I wanna do a border with all the black that I bought that the girls are gonna get. But I'm not gonna do mitered corners. I'm gonna stop with the 1 mitered corner. I'm just gonna rip all of the top and the back off. The majority of this fleece is fine, just this piece right here is not. So I'm gonna lose that much. That's what, 2, that'll be 4 inches this way and about 2 inches, 3 inches this way. So I'm gonna stop. The other option is I can hold off till whenever and buy new backing, but I'm not gonna do that. Because I could use the rest of this for a different blanket I have planned that's smaller. But now that I see the video games up against the cows and Larry Boy, I don't like it. So I'm gonna rip all my stitches around. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna watch some TV tonight after I have some supper. I'm gonna rip it apart, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. That's a wrap. Can take my toys and leave. Morning, y'all. It's Tuesday. I ripped all my seams on boy number 1 blanket. As you can see, I messed up corners. I'm going to square it up, and then I'm going to start cutting my black. About 2 yards of black fleece last week to do the girls' borders. Hopefully that's enough to add a 5th one. If it's not, it's no big deal. I'm going to start trimming up all the fleece to match up, and I'll sew the borders on the front. I ordered a ton of patches to add to an extra touch to the girls' blankets. So some will start rolling in today and tomorrow. But I want to get all the borders on all 5 remaining blankets. Allergies or something has taken over. We'll see how far I get today. Talking and work. Alright, y'all, all the borders are put on all 4 girls' shirts. I have these extra pieces because the oldest boy, I'm going to try to do something different with his. I'll either use those or something else. All the appliques are on. I had a lot more appliques, but when we decided to try some patches, I pulled appliques off. We'll see what happens with those. I'm gonna go have some lunch, throat lozenges, maybe make a cup of hot tea, something. I'll be back. All right, y'all, I'm done for tonight. As you saw, I was trying to make some binding out of the leftover fleece. It wasn't right. I was making it too bulky. It wasn't enough. I'm gonna have to, I guess, buy some more fleece or some actual binding to do this, to finish it up. So this is all quilted, mended. Saw me on this ichthus shirt. It's got lots of wear and tear and holes, probably a 30-year-old t-shirt. So I just quilted around it. I don't know if you can see that in there. It looks pretty cool. Quilted around it in case it ever does tear out, it'll be fine. And I did the same down here with Larry Boy. He had a bare spot, so I just did some stitching around it and then I quilted around the square. I did a fancy stitch to quilt it, went through front and back. I spray bottled all the blue, washed away ink, and put those other quilts in the dryer while I worked on this one. So this one's done except the binding. I'm not gonna go buy binding this week. So baby boy, youngest is completely done. That had the puppies that we did a few days ago. Oldest is waiting for some sort of binding. And the 4 girls, I'm waiting for the patches to arrive. So I can put the patches on, and then those are just gonna be simple front to back. On the fleece, there's not gonna be any borders or the borders are on. There's not gonna be any binding of any sort. And then I'll just do a top stitch around. I would have done that with this one, but it wasn't wide enough after my oops on the mitered corners yesterday. I don't feel well, y'all. Something is coming over me. I don't feel well. I'm gonna go find some kind of something to make me feel better. Maybe I'm just gonna shower and go to bed for the day. Anyway, see y'all later. Hey y'all, I'm back after a couple days off from this project. Ran to the local mini Walmart and got some bias tape. I don't know how well you can see it. This one is called Extra Wide Double Fold, and this one is just double fold. I'm not too smart, but why is the skinny one called extra wide? I don't know. And I don't know which one I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna clip it on and see which one I like better, and then get these on here, and I'll be done with both boys today, hopefully. All right, y'all, 2 boys down. The engine, the oldest boy, and the caboose, the little redhead, they're both done. I have 4 girls to go. I have a couple more patches coming in the mail in the next week before I decide what's going on the girls. This is my first time doing binding without my mother's supervision. I don't like it, but it did the job. It's not perfect, but it's gonna hold up. It's gonna do good. He's gonna love it. Only the adults are gonna pick it apart. Anyway, back to work. Alright y'all, that's it. I got 6 t-shirt blankets pieced, sewn together, quilted, and 4 of them with their patches on them already. These 2 still need patches to come, and I have about 2 more weeks on these 2. The brothers are all the way done. So these are brothers to these sisters, and these are the cousins to these 4, but they're sisters. Anyway, that crew's coming next week. This crew's coming in 2 weeks. Waiting for some more patches to arrive, but I'm done. This was a stash buster, because y'all know now she got lots of t-shirts stashed away. This is for our Vacation Bible School crew, and I think they're gonna love it. You know, if they don't, it's no big deal. It's scraps mostly, other than the patches and the fleece. Just reducing, reusing, and recycling. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on this probably very long video. Pops is gonna take a while to edit this. That's a long video, and I appreciate y'all being here to the end and sticking along with me as I fumbled my way through part of this. We appreciate you. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you commenting, especially. Share it. If you have somebody else, t-shirt blankets, it's graduation season. T-shirt blankets are a great way to pull together something for those kids that are moving on to college or the military, their own house. Or sadly, when people pass away, t-shirt blankets are a great memory maker for somebody that's gone. Do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Pops uploads new videos, you'll get notified. Check out our other videos. We've got property vlog videos. We've got terrible disc golf videos, but it's fun. More Nana So Crafty, and we'll see you next time. Keep watching.